Wolf of Fantasy Sports back with the DFS Wolfpack for the 11-6 NBA slate. Looking at the 3 games. DraftKings player pricing. Going to go over my player pool for tonight. We're going to look at Vegas right quick. Boston versus Atlanta at 11:30. Boston's favored, giving up 8. And then it got taken down to 7.5. So Boston favored to win in this one. 206 total, down to a 204. You got the Nets versus the Suns. Looks to be one of the highest totals here out of the 3 games. And it's probably the closest game out of the 3. Looking at 117, 118, down to a 116, 117. That's a 1-point difference. It's a 236 total, down to a 234. You got Miami 1030 versus Golden State. Golden State's at home. Golden State giving up 16.5 down to 15. Golden State the heavy favorite here. 225 game total down to a 223.5 as of right now. That's 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. These are the 3 games we're looking at today. Obviously, the high total, Nets versus Suns, closest game. They just played each other not too long ago. So we got some data, some research we can go back and look at, see who benefited from this matchup. As far as Boston and Atlanta, I say Boston's the favorite here. Atlanta's got a lot of injuries. Might be some value plays in there due to them injuries that we want to take advantage of on the Atlanta side. Hope the game stays close. And then you got Miami versus the Warriors. And I don't see that game staying close. Golden State's back to blowing out teams. They're at home. When they're at home, they're a high favorite, and they're going to just go off. So you got 2 blowout games, 1 close game. We're going to use Fantasy Labs. As you can see, Fantasy Labs is one of my favorite sites for DFS research. Highly recommended. NBA, NFL, PGA, MLB, and NHL. We'll work on a few optimized lineups, and we'll go over the players' position, starting with the point guard position. We're looking at Curry versus Miami. It's got a high floor, usually about 40, 45 at 9,600. I don't think you need him here. But if you're looking for 45, you got the money to pay up. He's a safe bet. Kyrie Irving, 8,800. You target point guards versus Atlanta. Schroeder defense is no defense. Looking at D'Angelo Russell versus Phoenix, 8,200. Price is really high on D'Angelo. If he was in the 7,000 range, I might take a chance on him. I don't really like it here. Looking at the 10-game log. D'Angelo went up against Phoenix on the 31st on Halloween. Now he shot 11 for 21 in 29 minutes. Seems like the Phoenix and Brooklyn guys are getting around 29 minutes for the starters. So we're looking at put up 47 fantasy points at 8,200. That's what we're going to need. 5 times 8 is 40. So if he puts up 47 fantasy points here, he'd exceed value. Thing is, he was 7,300 in that matchup. Now he's 8,200. So if he doesn't hit that 40, 45, he's not hitting 5x. And in this matchup, last game out, played 35 minutes. So he played more minutes than he did in the Phoenix game versus the Lakers and put up 40.75. That's where I see him at tonight. I see him anywhere from 33 to 40. That's where I see him in fantasy points. And versus the Lakers, that was a revenge game. And he only put up 40 fantasy points. So at this price, versus Phoenix, I'm willing to fade him in this matchup. I really am. I might have him in 1. If I could pay up for him, I'll take him. But I would look to fade him. It's the highest total on the day, and it's one of the closest games as far as the spread goes in the Vegas lines. So he's definitely in play. but I don't mind leaving him out of my lineup tonight. Schroeder's been balling. He's got the Q tag on him. If you look, something to do with his ankle. He's listed as probable for Monday's game. Going to have to keep an eye on that. He's had that for a little while now. He should play here. Just keep an eye on it. Looking at his logs, he's been putting up numbers, a little bit streaky, 43, 23, 36, 41. He didn't really have a tough matchup in any of these except for Milwaukee, and he put up 41. So that's a good thing. At 7,100, he's in play. The problem is Boston's just been really good defensively, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does, how he performs here. Looking at Dragic versus Golden State, tough matchup, 6,800. Don't love him here. Mike James at 5,300. I like that. Look to Mike James. Dude's just been putting up numbers, and his shooting percentage has been horrible. So, dude's just been shooting. If he can end up, I mean, he went 0 for 9 versus New York and still put up 25 DraftKings points, right? And that's field goals. Went 0 for 9. Free throws, 2 for 3. He's good with free throws, 7 for 10, 3 for 3, 2 for 3. 3-point, 0 for 2, 0 for 4, 1 for 5, 3 for 4. So in the game versus Brooklyn where he went 3 for 4 at the 3-point and went 9 for 16. So when he shoots, you see he puts up high fantasy points, 44.75. Now we're just looking at logs. We're not looking at any advanced stats. I'm not getting into that on my videos. That's my research process, and I suggest you find your own, unless you want to pay for it, and then I'll share what I do further. But as far as my videos, we're just going over the logs, game logs. Looking at Brooklyn, dude shot really well, right? And he's going up against Brooklyn again. So Mike James, if he gets to 29 minutes, last game out he only got 20. So he 25, 29, 29. Last game out he only got 20. That's for San Antonio. San Antonio's a tough team. Looking at Brooklyn, the game he's facing tonight, 29 minutes. He shot at a high clip, 9 for 16, 3 for 4 for 3-point. So he had 7-5, and he had a 56 shooting percentage. If he shoots and he's knocking down shots, he's going to exceed value at 5,300. I got to roster him. If you see, he's had a floor of 20 DraftKings points in the last 4 games. You got to like that. And he's got a ceiling of 44, and he's going up against Brooklyn again. I love the matchup. Highest total of the day out of the 3 games, and I think he's going to be real popular. So if you fade him and he's shooting and he's hitting his shots and he puts up that 35-40, it's going to be hard to win without him. On a 3-game slate, win at your other spots. If he's chalky, just win at your other spots. So I look at him. He's not a free square, but he's somebody that should be high on your radar tonight at 5,300. Dinwiddie, last time out versus Phoenix, dude put up 25 and 22 minutes. Only had 15 minutes versus the Lakers. That's something you got to look at. Now, he was in foul trouble the last game out versus the Lakers. That's why I only got 15 minutes. So, someone looking at the logs are like, oh, he's not getting the minutes. No, he was in foul trouble, okay? You got to look further into it. You got to follow the games, know what's going on, right? Versus Phoenix last time out, he put up 26 and 22 minutes. And then in that Denver game without D'Angelo, he went off for 40. I like Dinwiddie here. If he sees 20 minutes like he did versus Phoenix, he should be okay for 25. So if you want to roster him at 4,900, I don't know if he exceeds it to get you to 40, especially with D'Angelo out there on the floor. But I think he's good for 25. If that's what you're looking for, then put him in your lineups. I don't know if I'll have him tonight. Looking at Tyler Johnson. I could see Miami just losing this game, getting blown out a little bit after the 3rd quarter. So if he gets an uptick in minutes, looking at 33 last game, 27. Wait, let's see here. Hold on. Go to the game log. 33 minutes, 26, 32, 23. If he gets upwards close to 30 minutes, he's viable. He could play good. You see he's all over the place with fantasy points. 32 and 33 minutes. So he's almost a point per minute there. 26 minutes only got to 9.75. Didn't really shoot that good. Field goals, 1 for 8. 3 points, 0 for 4. He was not shooting well. Dude took 10 3-point shots in his last game. Made 3 of them. 7 for 15. So it all depends how he's shooting the basketball. Versus Golden State, it's going to be tough on him. Even the second unit, if he's facing the second unit, it's Golden State. It's a tough team. They play defense. And it's in Golden State. So Tyler Johnson, risky, but at 4,400, they're getting blown out. I could see him go in there and put up 25, close to 30 DraftKings points if he's shooting a basketball. So this guy's high risk, high reward. I'm looking at Rozier. He's just not seeing enough minutes here. Versus Atlanta could be a blowout. Maybe he gets an uptick in minutes, 27, 23, 19, and 18. So in this matchup, if it's a blowout, which I expect it to be because Atlanta's so banged up, look at Rozier to get upwards of 25 minutes. If he's making his shots, he was 2 for 9, 0 for 3 at three-pointer, and he only put up 17 and a quarter, right? In 19 minutes, he was 4 for 9 and 2 for 7 and put up 23. And then in 18 minutes, 5 for 13, 2 for 5, put up 22 DraftKings points. So at 3,900, I like Rozier. I think this game blows out. I think he gets an uptick in minutes here. And if he's making his shots, he can put you close to 30 DraftKings points. And that's what we're looking for at this price. I mean, I'd be happy with 22 to 25 if this was your punt play to fit in, you know, a Curry or a Draymond Green or like a Kyrie Irving, whoever you're looking to fit in. This guy could get you there, right? I'm off Tyler Ulis. Now, looking at Taylor here. Isaiah Taylor, 3,500. If I have the money, I'm paying up for Rozier. But looking at Taylor, 26 minutes last time out versus Cleveland, 25 versus Houston. Put up 23 DraftKings points and 25, right? Shot 6 for 12, 5 for 9, 3-point, 0 for 1, 0 for 1. He's viable at 3,500. If this is who you need your pump play, I would not mind taking a chance on him. Everybody's banged up here. You got the ankle injury with Schroeder. Look into him. Isaiah Taylor. That's as low as I'm going to go here. Not really looking at anybody else down here. Isaiah Taylor or Terry Rozier at 3,900. Those are my 2 value picks, right? So we're going to probably lock in Terry Rozier here and lock in Taylor because I do see this game getting away from Atlanta. Even though they beat Cleveland, they've showed they can bang and hang. I don't really care. Boston's playing really good basketball. All right. So looking at shooting guard position. You got Curry, he's still point guard, shooting guard, which is crazy. You got Booker, and you got Klay Thompson, right? Looking at Devin Booker, dude's price is shot up, 8,400. Last time he played Phoenix, or last time he played Brooklyn, $7,900. So he just shot up 500. Last time he played Brooklyn. 47, 34, 41, and 14. Now versus San Antonio, dude was not shooting the ball good. 3 for 11, 1 for 5. He's probably looking at Danny Green defense. Wasn't good. The matchup was horrible. Now he's back versus Brooklyn where he hung 47 on him. Shot 11 for 22 and 5 for 8. These teams are going to be going back and forth. High total. It's going to be shooting the ball like crazy. He's at home, which is good for Booker. I like Booker if you're paying up. That's my guy. So we got money. We're paying up here, right? Look at the other shooting guards. Yeah, Clay's in play. Curry's in play. Jaylen Brown. Really like him as well. We're going to toss him in here versus Atlanta. Shooting the ball pretty well. 7 for 13 field goal. 3 for 8. 7 for 8. 6 for 11. That's awesome. And then looking at 3-point. 3 for 5. 1 for 3. 5 for 6. And 1 for 3. He's putting up great scores. 32, 30. 33, 27. He's 6,000. If you multiply that by 5, that's 30, and that's what he's averaging over here. So he can get you 5x at 6,000. I'm locking him in. Prince's defense is all right, but it's Jaylen Brown, man. He's balling. Now I think they got the lead, and I think if anything, this game has a better chance of staying close, Boston versus Atlanta, than the Golden State game. or they're taking on Miami. That's just in my opinion, without Waiters too. We're going to talk about that. Waiters is out. Who's going to benefit from Waiters being out? It's probably going to be Richardson and then Tyler Johnson, and it's going to be Dragic. But it's Golden State. The defense is good. So, and the spread, they have the largest spread. If you look back here, they're giving up 15 to Miami, only giving up 8 to the Celtics, Atlanta. I mean, the Celtics are only giving up 8 to Atlanta. Golden State's giving up 15 to Miami. So Golden State has a higher chance of blowing out Miami. So when you determine, if you're making one lineup and you really have to make these tough decisions on who to play based on blowouts and whatnot, that's where things get tricky. If you're making multiple lineups, you can cover different spots on different lineups, which is good. Takes money to make money in DFS. Prince versus Boston, I don't love it at 5,600, but he's been playing pretty good basketball. 27, 22, 42, 31. So you see his upside. You see his floor. You go down a little bit. 35, 11, 35, 12, 27, 27. This dude's been balling at 5,600. It's going to be a little bit tougher of a defense going up against Boston. But I think Prince is in play here, without a doubt. Shooting guard, small forward, if you need him, he's in play. Bazemore, I'm not too high on in this matchup. I'd much rather go with Prince. Smart's in play for me. 5,100. He puts in the work. Good on defense. 41, 23, 17. 24, 31, 17, 32. He's been shooting the ball all right. 4 for 12, 2 for 9, 0 for 3, 3 for 10. But he does so much. He gets assists, 8 assists, 5 assists, 8 assists, 7 assists, a block, 3 steals, right? 2 personal fouls. Okay, he gets 11 points, 9 points, 2 points, 9 points. So he's got a floor like 15 here, I would say. And he's got upside. So Smart could get busy. I like Smart at 5,100. Looking at got Tyler Johnson. I'm off LeVert. Josh Richardson is okay. I don't know how much exposure I'm going to have to him because he's so erratic. 29, 24, 8, 15, 20, 21, 38, 30. He's all over the place. He's a volatile player. 4 for 10, 3 for 8, 1 for 7, 2 for 10, 3 for 5. So this is what I look at. I look at their field goals made, field goals average, 3 points made, 3 points average. See what they're averaging. See the minutes, 35, 33, 22, 32. Without Waiters, he should be seeing upwards of like 30, 35 minutes in this matchup here. A few guys down below that I'm looking at. None really. You could look at Wayne Ellington at 3,300. He's got upside to get you 20 plus. Put up 25, 6, 17. Be careful with this player, right? Could be a blowout. He could see some minutes. 3,300, he's all right. That's pretty much as low as I'll go. Ellington, Josh Jackson, he's risky. He's going to benefit off of Marquise Chris getting into foul trouble or just having a bad game. Looking at 23 minutes, 29, 13, 23. It all depends on Chris for him. So I think Josh Jackson's all right. 4,300, don't mind him. I'm off LeVert. I don't like what I've been seeing. 30 minutes, 28, 24, 26. He's not really putting up over 25 DraftKings points, and he's not shooting that well. 2 for 10. He had a 4 for 9, which is good. 3 for 12, and 2 for 8. I don't like it. He can't hit a three-pointer. Well, he can, but it's not good. 1 for 5, 1 for 5, 2 for 5, 2 for 5. It's okay. It's nothing that makes me want to roster him. I'd much rather take a small forward on that team, who I'm looking at right here. Price went up, 5,900, but I like Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Dude's been balling out. If you look here, 6 for 10, 8 for 16, 8 for 12, and 2 for 8. And three-pointers, he doesn't really make three-pointers at all, as you can see. And then he's averaging 30, well, he's got 36, 36, 28, and then 9 DraftKings points. I'd much rather play Rondae Hollis-Jefferson over LeVert. KD's always in play. 15-point spread, though. Be careful with KD. 10,100. It's a lot of money to pay. Much rather have a balanced lineup. TJ Warren, One of my favorite players on Phoenix, Booker and Warren. I like them. I'm throwing them in here. Power forward eligible, which is good. 5,700. Highest total of the night and the closest spread. So I want exposure to Warren. I want exposure to Booker. And that's what I'm rolling out. Olynyk, I don't mind him here at 5,200. He's just not seeing enough minutes for me. We got 16, 29, and 29. So just based off that, I'm not going to play him. And that's it. There's nothing really to like here. Ugly game. Collins, one of my other favorite players. Power forward, center, eligible. 5,000. Throwing him in the lineup. I got to because there's so many injuries right now and so many Q tags on these Atlanta players. Muscala shouldn't be playing in this one. So I really like Collins. If you look at Collins, young player, 24 minutes, 28, 14, 24. I see him right around 30 minutes today. 33, 35, 20, and 24. In 14 minutes, he got you 20 DraftKings points. This kid's got upside to hit 40. We haven't seen it, but he's gotten into like the 30s, the mid-30s. So if he sees the minutes, he should be viable here. With the injuries, I'm all over it. 5,000. He should be highly owned today. This is like my core right here, minus Taylor. Taylor's a bit risky. I'm going to take him out. I think Rozier, he's a bit risky as well. But at 3,900, I see Boston winning this game fairly easily. I think he's in play for the most part. Definitely in play for me. I'm going to take him out of the I'm going to take him out of my lock plays. As of right now, these are my lock plays of the day. You got Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, TJ Warren, and John Collins. Those are my lock plays of the day as of right now. We're going to look back at the centers. You got Draymond Green in play at 7,400 versus Miami. One of the more cheap starters, him and Clay. Al Horford, 7,200. Going up against Atlanta, a little bit of a revenge game. So I really like Al Horford here because they don't really have a big man over in Atlanta. They got Deadman. Horford's been real productive. Price stays right about the same, 7,200. He's got the upside of the mid-40s, right? You see that, 46, 40, 34, 35, 27, 27, 37, 32. That's what we're looking for. 29 minutes, 34, 26, 30. He's shooting good in the field goal percentage. 5 for 8, 8 for 10, 3 for 6, 7 for 11. That's exactly what we want. And he makes threes. He shoots threes. He takes 3, 4 threes a game. 3 for 3, 4 for 4, and 1 for 4. You got to love him. We're going to put him in the lock plays of the day here. Position's already full, right? Okay, so we're going to go to utility. I'm going to throw his ass up in there. Perfect. You know what? We're going to save the utility spot. We're going to throw his ass up in the forward spot because he's power forward, center eligible. So these are my lock plays of the day so far. You see it on the side. Any other center I'm looking at? Whiteside's at a great price for 7,000. Throw him in. He's real risky here because he could get ran off the floor by Golden State, but he's had good games in the past. Last season versus Golden State. And he's just been a monster. If you look at his last game, dude had 9 for 16, free throws made 3 for 3, 17 rebounds, and 21 points. He could drop a 20-20 on Golden State at 7,000, especially if this game happens to stay close. So, Whiteside's definitely in play for me. I'm going to have him in a few lineups. Russell's in play even at 8,200. I just don't love it. I'd rather find the money for Irving, hoping the game stays close. Thompson, any of the 4 starters for Golden State, they're always in play. Especially if these games stay close, they'll go off. Another player, what was his name? Mike James? Yeah, I like him too. You got to throw him in there. So I don't want to build a whole lineup for you, right? Because I'm still left with 5,400 up here. We got point guard, 4,900. Take him out here. Okay, these are some of my lock plays of the day. You got Mike James, point guard, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, TJ Warren, John Collins, Al Horford, and Whiteside, right? Those are my favorite plays of the day. Now that leaves you with 5,400. You got all these other cats here. You got Smart, Dinwiddie, Richardson, whoever you want to take a stab on, right? Whiteside, he's got some risk to him. I love the price. Him and Horford, maybe the game gets away from him. These both these games, Boston versus Atlanta, Miami versus Golden State, have blowout potential. So you have to look. You have to look in there. You have to weigh out all the options, all the possible scenarios, and make decisions. And then you live by your decisions. For better, for worse, high risk, high reward. 7,000, I'd take the risk because there's just a high reward if that game stays close. If he balls out, that could be a 20 for 20 game out of Whiteside, easy. So these are my lock plays of the day: James, Booker, Brown, Warren, Collins, Horford, and Whiteside. Good luck in your contest tonight. 3-game slate. You're going to want to get different. I project all these players being highly owned. I really do. So you're going to want to have somebody like Josh Richardson with a Josh Jackson? Yeah. You're going to want to get weird here. You're going to want to switch it up. Rozier. Leave money on the board. If you leave more than like 400 or 500 up to like 1,500 on the board, that could win a slate. We've seen it done. Just check the perfect lineup every night. It's not always maxing out your money. A lot of people don't like to leave money. A lot of players that play DFS, they don't leave money on the board. I'm sometimes a victim of that. Leave money on the board, especially on a 3-game slate. So I would hate me too. That's what I go by on DraftKings, FanDuel. That's what I'm known as in the fantasy universe. Check me out, DFS Wolfpack, on Instagram and Twitter. And hit me up if you want to join the DFS Wolfpack League on DraftKings, FanDuel. Leave your username in the YouTube comment section, and I'll add you to the league. Good luck in your contest.